As I mentioned earlier, WHAS was in transition when I first got there, and I think one of the reasons I was hired was because of my ability to talk turkey with the engineers and the engineering department. In the beginning, I worked with 2 or 3 engineers during my production shift each day. I would have to instruct each movement in the area of production that was made. After assessing the equipment possibilities and the personnel capabilities, I decided not only to instruct the what, but also the how. The engineers didn't like the latter. They thought I should just tell them the what, and they would decide the how, and that I had invaded their area of jurisdiction. Needless to say, there was great tension in the engineering department. I was rocking their 40 to 50-year-old boat, and they were close to filing an official grievance. But I knew from a technical perspective that the way I was instructing them to perform was the most effective way to do it, with the best outcome results versus time. And if it did come to them filing a grievance petition, I could prove my position to be correct. As I understand it, there was a pre-grievance meeting amongst the engineers, and a few of the engineers that I worked with daily stood up for me, and plainly stated that the way I wanted them to work got the job done with the most professional outcome in the least amount of time. The other engineers agreed to take a wait-and-see attitude. That is, they could go along with it until I screwed up, then they would nail me to the cross. So I made sure not to screw up, and I didn't. I know this commentary segment is running long, but I just wanted to set out my situation. When you're trailblazing amongst unions, my AFTRA and their engineers union, you have to always be right, or they'll eat you alive. Because unions are always about the average employee, not the trailblazer. I did a special feature about this, that is the sometimes destructive force of groupthink. I obviously had to change the name of the persons involved. It's called Raindrop.
A small, insignificant drop of rain falls onto a hillside. That lonely drop of rain is me. But soon I'm joined by other drops, new friends, and together we begin our long journey to the sea. It's slow at first, the traveling is. We're getting to know each other drop by drop. And by the bottom of the hillside, we're moving so fast, nothing can stop. We're organized now. We have direction. We have force. I'm still just that drop of rain, but I'm important to the rest, so on we rush towards the forest. The ground beneath us starts to crumble. I and my companions are tearing great channels into the earth, but I can't be responsible for that. I'm just a small drop of rain. They're the ones, my friends. They have the power. I'm just following with the crowd. A towering tree stands majestically at the edge of the forest, as if on lookout. It sees us coming and tries to warn the rest. But in just a flash, we hit at its base, tearing it out by the roots. It crashes to the ground, stunned by the effects of a few drops of rain. For just a split second it lies motionless, face down in defeat. And then it begins to move. Move with us. We've conquered its mind and given it a new sense of direction. Destroyed its individuality. And it's now a part of us, leading the way like a mighty battering ram. But I can't be responsible for that. I'm just a small drop of rain. I have no power. I can't even stop myself. So it's on to the forest, on to destruction. The battering ram slams into the first line of trees. They shudder under the strain, surprised by the attack by one of their own. The battering ram turns sideways now as if on cue, so we can get behind and push. That first line of trees is a worthy opponent, for they have strength in number. They, grouped together, stand their ground for a number of seconds. Perhaps this will be our defeat, and we can cease this madness, this destruction. But no, my friends have learned to deal with trees. Erode away the soil, expose the roots, leave it nothing to hold on to. They are now conquered. The trees now have joined us, being led by their turncoat friend, the battering ram. How did I ever become a part of this? I never wanted to rule, to conquer, to destroy. I only wanted to be needed, to be part of the crowd. We're rushing down a valley now, pushing half that beautiful forest in front of us, along with all other types of loose debris. I feel soiled now. I used to be a clear drop of rain, but now I'm dark and muddy from the war. I feel no longer sensitive and clean, but rather cold and calculating. I've learned so many ways to destroy those things I was meant to nourish. But there's no time to think about that now. It's on to war. Look, down there, a town, at the end of the valley. Oh God, no, they can't mean that. They can't destroy a town. I won't be a part to that. This is my limit. They've gone too far. I'll stop right here. I'll stop. I can't stop. I'm part of the crowd now, being swept along. I'm no longer me, but something entirely different from what I used to be. 1,000 million gallons of water hit that town that day and ripped it off the map. Houses, cars, people, it made no difference. I couldn't bear to watch. I closed my eyes in shame. For weeks after, I floated down the river in a daze, my mind blank from shock. Could I have done this? Me? A little drop of rain? Could I have been a part of all this pain? I even tried to stop them, but it was too late. If I ever have a chance to be that little drop of rain again, an individual, I will know the importance of being myself, the destruction that's possible when you follow the crowd. I will need friendship, but it will not rule my sense of direction. I have an obligation to be myself first, to do what I think is right, regardless of what the crowd thinks, and when their opinions and mine differ, to let it be known what I think right off and to step aside if necessary, before I get caught up in the crowd. You see, an individual drop of rain is indeed a powerful thing.